Hey, this is Tommy Dreamer, and you're listening to WNS, taking all your wrestling and sports information to the extreme.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
That's right. I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And welcome you to episode 287 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNSvideo, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Play.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
At WNS Podcast, at WNS_Daniel, at Tyler_Abear on Twitter.
There you go.
If you care enough.
Twitter.
No matter.
So welcome to the show. Got a ton of stuff to cover this week.
Two tons,
metric ton, if you will. We're going to talk about some feedback. We've got Raw to talk about, Smackdown. We're going to give you our SummerSlam predictions, Cruiserweight Classic, Hot Topics, and of course some Q&A to round out the show. 2K17 news as well. And Takeover, yeah, I completely forgot. Takeover is this weekend as well. Jesus.
Take it over.
Oh, that's a lot of wrestling to watch in the coming week. So welcome to the show. How you guys doing?
I'm content.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah.
Ate a burger.
Yeah.
And I had
Was it a good burger?
It was a good burger.
Home of the good burger?
No, not home of the good burger. Just a good burger. And then I had a root beer float. Good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Doug, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making it?
I'm making it.
That's good.
I made it.
You did. Did you have an okay day?
Yeah, it's fine. I guess.
I had a bummer of a day. On my way to work, a rock slammed into my windshield, and now I got a big crack in it.
That sucks.
Yeah. Brand new ride. Bum, 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 bum.
Fuck that rock.
You gonna try one of those like those little kiosk is probably the wrong word, but they're always in like the mall parking lots.
Yeah, the
you know?
little shopping, stop here and for $15 or whatever.
Stop here and check your crack.
I don't know. I might just go through my insurance because I don't know.
Does the warranty cover that? You gotta still have a warranty, right?
I would hope so, but it's always a weird thing with that. They're like, oh, if this breaks down, we'll cover it, but not if this breaks down. So I might have to call them and see as well. And be like, hey, man.
Check the warranty first.
Yeah. See what all kind of coverage I have for that.
Hey, guess what? You got a crack in your windshield, you get a new vehicle.
All right. I'll take it. Thank you. That'd be awesome. So, so like I said, we've got lots to talk about. I didn't type down the NXT TakeOver matches for us to discuss, but we can always pull up those in a little bit and go over them. Not necessarily give predictions, but we can talk about the matches. So should be pretty good. So let's dive into some feedback. First bit and only bit of feedback we have is from Parker saying, "Wow, Tyler, that's awesome. Congrats on your dad's liver."
Thank you. Thank you.
So very good stuff. Like it. The road to recovery.
Yes. Long road to recovery.
But it is in progress. One day closer to where you were yesterday.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
So, all right.
What?
I don't know. So the go-home show, the go-home week for SummerSlam, getting ready for the pay-per-view. You guys hyped?
Oh, wait. I'm going to say... Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to say what's up to the Top Rope podcast. Because apparently... I mean, I listened to one... I don't know. I guess they tweet... I don't run the Twitter, but I like periodically like check the Twitter to see if anyone's like talking to us or anything, which they never are. But apparently the dudes and the lady over at the Top Rope podcast mentioned us on a podcast.
Oh, nice.
And
Cool.
I listened to the podcast, and I guess they were talking about... I guess we were referenced in... talking, I guess how we talked about how like Lesnar ending the streak was a bad idea, and I guess one of the dudes on the Top Rope podcast mentioned us, and yeah, so I listened to their podcast. I don't know if he listens every week or if this is going to be me talking to someone who is never going to hear it, but I just thought I would like shout them out because they shouted us out.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks for listening.
So yeah, I listened to theirs, and yeah, it was pretty fun. So check them out. The Top Rope Podcast.
If you're up for adding more podcasts to your lists, stuff to listen to, there you go. So yeah, no new iTunes reviews this week, but that's okay. If you happen to be listening on iTunes, feel free to give us a review. Good stuff. So yeah, go home week, getting ready for
I was
SummerSlam.
gonna say something, but I forgot.
Are you getting pumped? Are you excited? Are you ready for SummerSlam? Because it's going to be 4 hours.
And 2-hour pre-show.
And a 2-hour pre-show.
So it's like the same amount of hours as WrestleMania, right? Or no, Mania was 7?
Well, it went 7 because it went over.
Oh. Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So we've got, I'm assuming it's going to be a 2-hour NXT takeover.
Is SummerSlam going to be better than Mania?
Probably. The matches look like they're going to be a little bit better.
Say what?
The matches for SummerSlam looking better than the card
No,
for
did
Mania.
you say if NXT is going to be what?
Is NXT going to be 2 hours or 1?
2, I'm sure.
Who
The
said that?
special, you mean? The
Yeah.
special will be 2 hours.
Okay.
It'll probably go a little longer.
Yeah. So that's 2 hours.
They don't really have a designated time slot. I mean, there is a start time, but I don't think they have this is a 2-hour show. We're going to try
Right.
it.
It's on the network. We go as long as we want,
Right.
kind of thing. So 2 hours supposedly for the NXT, 4 hours for SummerSlam, 3 hours for Raw, and then 2 hours for SmackDown. That's 11 hours right
I'll
there.
keep it really real with you. This week has been a struggle for me. I got home maybe 20 minutes before Raw started, and I feel like I've been like running behind ever since. Like I didn't get to watch SmackDown live. I watched it after the fact, which made me like have to stay up late. But there's like all this programming. I feel like I'm like trying to catch up constantly to make sure I consume it all to have an informed enough opinion to talk about it. And so I'm just curious, like, what's the breaking point for you guys? Like, what is the point where you say this is too much? I can't do it. Like, what is? Are you approaching that, or do you think will it ever like? Because I'll be honest, I don't think they could break me. I would still. I think my viewing habits would change to where I would maybe stop watching things live so that I could skip commercial time and stuff like that.
Sure.
And just to make up some time. I don't think they could break me, but I'm curious if you guys thought, is there like a number in your head, or are you approaching a number where you're just like, there is a point where I can't do it anymore? And does that mean like you would stop altogether, or does that mean to be more selective with what you did watch, or what is that whole thing for you? Both.
I feel like now they can keep on piling stuff up. I'll still watch it, but like whenever I got burnt out, I considered, because I couldn't stand a lot of wrestling, so that was kind of a breaking point at that point in time. But I'm okay with anything really right now. So
For me, I think I'm kind of to my limit, just because
it's a lot of fucking product. Let's just be honest.
It is
sure,
a lot.
sure.
It is a lot of time to dedicate to watching one particular program. I don't know how Daryl feels about watching all of the product as frequently.
she don't watch it.
But to ask my wife, hey, instead of hanging out with you, I'm gonna watch SmackDown.
27 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, and so it becomes a lot, and then we have our shows that we like to watch together. I have my shows that I like to watch. Among work, putting in 40 hours a week, it starts to take its toll. And I would love to be able to catch up on Saturdays, but I work on Saturdays, and then I get home and I'm like, I want to do something else. Yesterday I came home from work and I played No Man's Sky for like 2.5 hours.
Professional, motherfucker.
Sorry, I forgot that my phone wasn't on.
I played No Man's Sky for like 2.5 hours and loved every minute of it.
This is a wrestling podcast. We might have thought Sami Zayn was making an entrance.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But it's just, it's a lot, which is one of the reasons why I don't watch Ring of Honor, which is one of the reasons why I don't watch TNA right now. I just don't have time. And, obviously for takeovers and pay-per-views, yeah, you're gonna set aside some time to watch that. You know,
what's your doomsday scenario though? Where is the straw that's breaking your back? You said you're about there, but so
yeah.
How do you just adjust your watching habits, or do you throw your hands up and say, fuck it, I can't do this?
I would try to watch as much as I can. So I watch Raw live, obviously.
Right.
SmackDown, just this particular week since the Olympics were going, Kelsey had a rough day at work. So I was like, you know what? I'll just record SmackDown. I'll come back to that, and I'll watch it in bed or something because she goes to bed early. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I'll turn the TV on, and she fell asleep to the Olympics. Once she was asleep, I switched over to SmackDown and watched that. So I watched Raw live. Normally I watch SmackDown live, but, instances will occur. Then we record the show on Wednesdays. Then on Thursdays during my lunch break, I'll usually catch the Cruiserweight Classic and or NXT, depending on if it's a slow day at work and I can kind of get away from everything.
So we never watch those live because we record on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it depends on how early we get out of here. I may watch them when I get home, or if it's too late, I'll probably watch them tomorrow when I get off work. But just me, I was like, I got home like 20 minutes before Raw started. I tried to take a quick fucking shower, watched Raw. I watched the little Holy Foley preview thing that came on after.
I didn't watch that.
I wanted to watch the Punk thing, but obviously it was on during the Punk started.
Oh, man, I completely forgot about that.
I wanted to watch that, but it was on during Raw. Obviously, I was watching Raw, and I looked for it online. Nobody uploaded it yet. No one uploaded it I still haven't seen it. No one uploaded it until last night, and I downloaded it last night. Yes, talking about illegal activities, people. I downloaded it last night, but I didn't have time to watch it because I had a thing I couldn't watch SmackDown live, so I had to watch that after the fact. And then I'm like, I didn't get to the Punk thing. I didn't get to the special on women's wrestling yet, which I intend to watch both, but I just, like, if I don't get Raw and SmackDown live, then I feel like I'm fucking running behind because there's so much fucking content this week. There's something every day this week.
Yeah.
And then there's like a 6-hour show on Saturday. There's NXT. It's just a lot, man. I feel like I'm running behind.
I'm not too concerned with the specials that are going on the network this week. Like, I watched the 24 special, and it was fine. It wasn't anything, like, amazing. They did a history, and, here's where the business was, here's where it's going. It's a good watch, but, I mean, they've, in my opinion, they've done better ones.
Right.
Not to knock the ladies at all. It was just, I don't know. But, or maybe it was just I was tired and wasn't really focused. I felt like Raw and SmackDown this week, it didn't really hold my interest. I caught myself looking at my phone a lot and kind of just feel like, oh my gosh, how much longer until this is over?
Well, I mean, I think Raw specifically was mostly promos and angles. They didn't do a lot of matches, but I guess like we're like inching in towards talking about them, but just to sort of wrap up all this other talk about everything else is that I guess I want to watch them, but I also feel like compelled to do it in a timely manner because I feel like it's important to have a informed opinion if I'm going to do like a podcast. So I feel like the pressure to get it done within a reasonable amount of time to, like, if not talk about it on the show, like, know of it. So if someone asks about it or whatever, but man, it's just, it may just be this week and me working late. But
even in the weeks past with Lucha Underground, I fell behind on that. And that was before they did SmackDown Live.
Right.
So it was like, oh, there's no point in talking about SmackDown. We already know the spoilers, blah, 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 blah. So even with that, I was falling behind. And, I've got New Japan that's sitting on my DVR. It only I've got it to where it just keeps the past 5 episodes, and I haven't touched it. Haven't watched Impact. Haven't watched Ring of Honor. It's just, I don't know. There is a lot. I get in such a routine now that if it's not already programmed into my normal routine, like Monday, Raw, Tuesday, SmackDown, Wednesday, podcast, Thursday, I watch the shows with Kelsey. Friday tends to be a little open, but I don't want her to feel overwhelmed of me dedicating so much time to wrestling because we hardly see each other as it is due to work. You know, it's like I see her as she's going to work, and then I see her for a few hours before she goes to bed. So it's like, I don't want to say, hey, you know, great seeing you. Hope you had a great day. I'm going to watch wrestling now. You know, so.
Yeah, it's weird because it feels like if they're going to have a network, they have to give you this sort of content to justify having a network.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's the legacy content, there's the old footage, but that's only going to appeal to people like me and like a smaller segment of the existing audience. I guess like a niche would be an easier, succinct way of saying that. I don't know why I danced around it, but it's to sort of justify having people spend money for the network. It's like they have to do this, and it's sort of like this is, and I feel like they've sort of subtly shifted, I guess not fully away, but at least a little bit away from the type of stuff we're like, well, that's not really what we're interested in. We're interested in more stuff like the Cruiserweight Classic, and at least now they're diversified in the sense that they're giving you not just like the Holy Follies, but they're giving you the Cruiserweight Classic as well. But it's like, I think we would complain if they didn't have enough content to justify a network, but I feel like we're also complaining like there's too much content to keep up with. So it's like, where do they find the balance, you know? And also I feel like it's just like the blessing and the curse of the internet. It's like, you know, 20 years ago, everybody could watch everything that made tape because not everything made tape, and everything that was out there, people either saw or traded to get their hands on. And the curse of like being a wrestling fan 20 years ago is you saw everything, but you saw everything that made tape, but you're like, oh, I wish I could see this, but I don't have a way of seeing that. I know it happened. I see the results. I saw it in a magazine, but I can't see it. Now, every fucking thing you can think of, from the biggest company in the world to who has its own network to the company down the street from you that has a YouTube page, every fucking thing makes tape. You can see anything you want as long as it's recorded in this day and age. And I mean any fucking thing. Japan, Mexico, Europe, doesn't fucking matter. But it's like you had all the time to watch everything back then, but you couldn't watch everything because it didn't make tape. Now you have everything at your fucking fingertips, but you just don't have the time. It's like it's like the blessing and the curse of like 20 years ago.
You only have so much time on your hands.
20 years ago versus now, it's like the inverse. It's like couldn't see it all, could see everything because you couldn't see it all. Now you can see it all. You just don't have the time to see it all. It's just a weird thing.
One thing I would like to get eventually is DVR.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I
don't think that's a solution. I think it really is just like the internet age. We've reached the peak of you can't
watch
process everything
that's
available to you. You just can't. It's weird.
But
I cut you off good.
It would certainly help. Because, I mean, you never know what might happen. You'd be like, oh, I got to leave and can't watch Raw right now, but, you know, I can come back later and watch it or something.
Because, if something happens where, like, I could stay up later, but I don't have, like, oh, guess what? I missed part of Raw, but I have nothing. I can't go back anywhere. I mean, I don't think it's not put up instantly, like, on the internet or anything like that.
It's like a month behind on the on the network. I mean, I could tell you where to find it within, like, 30 minutes of it going off the air if you got an internet connection.
And
talk to me after the show.
Post.
Okay, I'll talk to you after the show.
I know WWE posts clips on their Facebook page.
But that's not the whole...
It's not the whole story.
No, I've done that. I went to the Facebook page, and there's times where I missed out, go to WWE.com, and they'll do, like, clips of different, things that happen to the Raw, but you don't get every little thing.
Mm-hmm. So that could be a good question for our listeners this week. Be like, how much wrestling do you watch in a given week? And how much would you say is too much? For you, personally.
I mean, I have the thing is, I have a feeling that most people are going to say we are at the max that I can handle, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stop watching, because I know that I'm not. I know that, just with I have a fairly busy schedule, and I know that still I try to keep up with everything that I can, so I'm more interested in hearing, like, what is... Not, I know people think now is already too much, but I want to know what actually is your bottom line of your breaking point where you throw your hands up and say, fuck it, I can't keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
They have wrestling shows on every hour, every day.
Getting there.
I mean, technically you could. I mean, if you watched the whole network over and over,
I mean, I think it probably has to do a lot to do with my personality type, where I feel like I have to be a completist. And I think honestly, though, I think there are people out there who find it much easier than I do to just be like, dude, I just watch Raw. That's all I can watch. But well, how my mind works, it doesn't compute that way.
What I find really funny is, they've been talking about the network on WWE programming lately. It's like, if you were to sit for 8 hours a day, it would take you over 2 years to watch it all. Right. The first thing that popped in my head was you.
Yeah.
Going, like, arms crossed, going, challenge accepted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally that asshole. Don't get it twisted. That's me.
It's like, I'll do it in a year and a half.
I'm not saying it's like healthy or anything, but
you gotta see all the shit.
I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff. And then plus, on top of that, they're not constantly, but they keep on adding shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's like
shows they make. Stuff they're adding to the library from their older collection.
Yeah. Well, it's just like this week alone. You've got NXT Takeover, SummerSlam, Raw, SmackDown, NXT Cruiserweight Classic. That's 6 shows in 1 week. And then you fast forward to September, Lucha Underground is back. Then you've got Ring of Honor. Then you've got TNA. That's 9 shows. And if you have the channel for New Japan, you can watch New Japan. So that's 10 programs per week.
I don't know I know it's still going on. I don't know if my parents still have that channel, but every now and then when I used to live with my parents, I would catch CMLL every now and then.
Mm-hmm. So let us know for you how much is too much. How much do you watch in a week? So how about that Raw, man?
Jigs, man.
Oh, I mean, I can't see the format sheet from here, but did you have the whole? Did you have anything about Impact for this week?
No.
Do you want me to briefly run down the Smackdown thing? Because I did see Impact this past week.
I did see the one clip with Matt Hardy in the car, and I did chuckle.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that clip I sent y'all a while back? Like after the whole deletion thing, he had a party with people and stuff, and
yeah, that was I think the episode right after, I believe.
Okay, but no, the only thing at Impact I saw was Rex Andrews. That's his name. Damien.
Yeah.
Aaron Rex.
Aaron Rex. What's his name? Rex Andrews. Oh, that's ROW guy.
Yeah, but
facepalm.
I mean, I guess the only real thing of note to talk about is
Vanguard 1 is a tremendous driver.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, I thought the Sandow stuff was super blah and super uninspired. He sort of came out and was just like, "This isn't about don't worry, this isn't about my former employees, but employers."
I'm taking a shot at them too.
But it's the whole promo is sort of about exactly what he said it wasn't about. And it felt really.
It doesn't matter if you're a chairman or an authority figure.
It just felt really uninspired, and I don't know, man. It just. I don't know if it's just that we've seen that promo from people leaving companies so many times that it feels uninspired, but it was definitely just a blah thing. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to touch on it, but
okay. So we've heard his side of the story after he's been released. Where he's like, I don't have any ill wishes to WWE. I loved my time there. I'm looking for bigger and better things. He kind of moved on. Didn't really have anything negative to say about the company. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that particular speech was backstage officials at Impact saying, "Hey, go out there and say it this way"?
Well, I think there is a certain expectation of a debut promo from a guy who leaves a bigger company. I feel like it's almost expected for them to shit talk.
Dude,
I feel like
they're shit all the time on TNA. Something that came to mind, and I don't know if it was the people backstage or the wrestlers, but you remember when Billy Gunn and Road Dogg were part of TNA and they were taking shots at Shawn Michaels and Triple H on air by their real names? You remember that?
Yeah, the Voodoo Kin Mafia stuff.
Say that again.
The Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah, that stuff. So I mean, there's stuff in the past.
I just think this sells better than, even though it comes off really uninspired, what is he going to come on and cut a promo about? He's like, I appreciated the opportunity and I enjoyed my time there.
Yeah.
That's not like a promo you cut like as a coming in guy, you know? So I feel like there's an expectation for him to do what he did. It just feels like we've seen it so many times that it was just so blah.
It was like, hey, go out there and burn that bridge.
Yeah. I mean, I
don't want to.
I don't even see it as a burn bridge because I don't think he said anything super controversial.
Well, see, that's my point. Like the backstage officials were like, hey, we want you to go out there and, fire the shot. And he was like, there's no shot to be fired. I'm here to do my job.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that. I don't know. It may be some mixture of the two. It may be like we would like
Get people talking about us.
We would like for you to go out there and cut like a fake shoot promo on the WWE. And he's like, well, I don't really want to shit talk him because I will hopefully go back one day. It may be both, And
then I'll be the one who has a stunt double.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just weird. It was just very uninspired. I don't know.
Yeah. And then Bobby Lashley, I hear, is making a tear.
Yeah, he's got like all the belts.
All of the belts.
Oh, are they
belt,
doing the whole
belts.
Kurt Angle thing?
Kind of. They're debuting a new belt that sort of like signifies they've like sort of combined some belts. From what I saw pictures of belts from the tapings that they just did. So I forget what the official new belt is, but it's like a combination of some of the other belts.
So they
it's like
have
the King of the Mountain belt and
the stuff that's like you there's no reason to have a King of the Mountain champion anymore. It's like those type of things they sort of rolled up into one thing.
So they have the world champion, King of the Mountain. Was that the Legends Championship that Booker T had a long time ago?
Yes.
Okay, they have the tag team champions, they have the women's champions, the X Division. They still have the girl tag team champions? The women's tag team champions?
I don't believe so.
They got rid of that? Okay. Bobby Lashley holds the women tag team championship.
I mean, they may still have them, but I've been very hit or miss with my viewing. Like we just talked about for 20 minutes for last.
Then all of a sudden, Bobby Lashley is tag teams with Pac-Man Jones. Same thing as Kurt Angle. Remember that?
Are you just like listing off everything you can remember about TNA at this point?
Yes.
Just like that one time the Outlaws were there.
Remember that one time Shark Boy was in a coma?
Remember that time where Alex Skipper did the Hurricane Rana to one of those guys?
Bear's just literally listing every memory of TNA he has at this point.
I could list
that
more,
one
man.
time Samoa Joe headbutted Kurt Angle.
Hey, man, it was the headbutt around the world.
You mean the headbutt heard around the world?
That's what I meant. One of those.
Headbutt around the world.
Hit him so hard he saw the curvature of the earth.
You remember Kevin Nash and the paparazzi stuff?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
With all the X Division guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny stuff. Yeah. That stuff holds up.
It does.
Remember that time suicide?
Which suicide?
Yes.
Trick question.
All of them.
Trick question.
All 6 of them.
Remember when he turned to Manic?
No, that never happened.
Sorry, but go ahead. What were you saying?
I wouldn't say anything.
Canadian War Machine's fucking pumped. We're giving TNA so much time this week.
Let's get out of that. No.
Where's the gym, Petey?
Drive right over there. Okay, so we're getting closer to SummerSlam. Every minute that passes, we're getting closer.
I'm getting closer to talk about more TNA stuff.
Yeah, I saw a comment.
No, let him go. I want to see how much more you remember. Let's see what else he remembers about TNA.
Okay. Well, we got AJ Styles and Tomko.
I'm just joking.
Ready to fly.
Okay, go ahead.
That time Austin Aries won the championship.
Sure.
Yeah, that happened.
You remember Chris Harris?
Braden Walker.
Is that your phone again?
It's on vibrate now.
We're professional, damn it!
You unprofessional motherfucker.
So, I saw a comment on the whole Rusev and Roman storyline that's happening right now.
Hit me with it.
They're sort of doing a role reversal. Like, the fans are cheering for Roman, and they shouldn't be. They should be cheering for Rusev, because Rusev is trying to defend his wife's honor. Mm-hmm. And Roman is there to, like, break up parties and throw people into cake.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but USA.
That is actually correct. That is the reason. So my boss actually posed this question for me because he was like, I'm confused. Do the fans like Roman now? I'm like, it's the patriotism angle. Like, here's the evil non-American.
I still don't think it was that. I still, even with that, I don't feel like they were like super into Roman.
They were. They popped pretty hard for him.
Maybe I was just very tired. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't focus.
Maybe I was just delirious and hearing things, but I thought the crowd was pretty hot for him, and they got the USA chants going and all that. I don't know. Just a bunch of madness.
Yeah. Are we supposed to wait for Tyler?
Oh, well, he had to step out for a phone call, so we'll let him do.
I don't know. I just saw him leave. I didn't know what he's doing.
We'll let him do his thing.
Here's the thing about the Rusev and Roman stuff. They had a really good fucking match on Raw. Mm-hmm. I just don't know why they had that match on Raw. It's not like they gave us a little match that got broken up really quick or a little like 5-minute match that someone wanted. They gave us a match that was the length of a pay-per-view match on the show. Not just
before the pay-per-view.
With a definitive finish where one of the contestants beat the other contestant 1, 2, 3, undisputed in the ring. And I understand that it's not the main event or even necessarily the top handful of matches on the card, but why are we not going to watch that match on the pay-per-view? Yes. Why did you give us that match on Raw?
Exactly.
Do you have an inkling? The only thing I can think of is if they're actually not going to put Roman over here, and so he needed...
It's to show that he can beat him.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing I can think of is if he's actually not going to beat him at the pay-per-view, but they had to prove that he could beforehand.
Sure.
Can you think of any other reason why you would do that other than you're just a dumbass?
Wow. Okay. No.
I mean, not you personally, but
to be honest, I was actually very confused because the match never got underway. Right? They brawled. They go to commercial. We come back. They're like, "Has this match even started?" Like they're still brawling. The ref isn't counting or doing anything. They get in the ring. No bell is rung. They fight. They get thrown into the stairs. They get thrown into the barricades. All this crazy stuff happens, but there's a pin.
Yeah.
So when did the match happen?
I don't know.
I mean,
when is a good question, but why I think is the
is the big question. When is the smaller? Wait a minute. The announcers are saying that this match hadn't started yet, and I'm still watching. Bell hadn't rung. Ref is just following them around, not counting them out. So when did this match start?
I have no idea.
It was no. It was.
This feud seemed weird to you?
I like the match. I thought the
match itself was fine, especially there towards the end.
Yeah, I just don't know why they would give that away on TV specifically when that's a match on the pay-per-view that you're supposed to be selling us on.
It's the same thing for the Finn Balor, although I can totally understand as to why they did it, because there is a large fan base that doesn't watch NXT. So they want to see what this Demon King thing is that they're all talking about. However, that's a reason to entice people. You want to see what the Demon King looks like, get the network and watch SummerSlam. So it's
not, I mean, it makes, you're right on the money from a business perspective, but even from just like an artistic perspective, you cut the mystery like out of it. It's supposed to be a special thing for when he's got to psych himself up for the pay-per-view.
Yep.
So why is he doing it on Raw? If you do it on fucking Raw, it's not that big of a deal. And also, whenever he came out as the Demon King, and also they said Demon King a whole fucking lot of times. That is his lunatic fringe where they don't stop saying lunatic fringe.
Oh my God, they're gonna
said the Demon King
bury
so
it
many
into the
fucking
ground.
times.
King, come to claim his throne.
You just gotta say it once or twice. People will pick it up. People.
Damien the King.
But even when they brawled after him coming out, it was not. That should have made it very one-sided to where he just sort of dominated. It was just like a back and forth like fight.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give you. They cut the mysteriousness out of it by doing it on Raw. They cut the specialness out of it by doing it on Raw. and they cut the edge out of it by being like a 50-50 brawl after that's supposed to like psych him up to put him over the edge.
Yeah.
It's are you trying to not sell this pay-per-view or like I don't know.
It's like they're trying everything they can to sabotage their own pay-per-view.
I don't get it.
It's like, well, there's no reason to me watching SummerSlam. I know what the Demon King looks like. Well, there's no reason for me to watch the pay-per-view. I've seen Roman Reigns versus Rusev.
But they don't think that way, though.
Yeah, with
they
a
don't
clean
think
finish.
that way.
I guess not. And that's the problem. Why aren't they thinking like this? Why aren't they going, oh, hey, here's a thought. Maybe we shouldn't do this.
I mean, I can understand like mistakes can be made, but it does not take 30 seconds for, you know, some jabronis like us to like poke holes in that. So
Yeah.
it's your product. Have a little pride. You would think that when something like that happens, the first thing everyone would be like,
wait a minute.
let's give this a thought. Let's see if we can poke a hole in this for about 30 seconds before we throw it out there. And it's like, if we can, maybe we tweak it a little bit, you know?
Another thing that could be tweaked, and I will start by saying first, I'm happy to see it back because it is a rare sight. We don't get to see it too much in WWE anymore. The best of 7 series, Sheamus and Cesaro. That's great and all. Like I said, I'm excited to see it. But someone already has
excited?
2 wins.
Are you excited?
I am.
Okay.
I genuinely am.
All right.
Because I think it's one of those old school type of feuds that gives people a reason why these two are still fighting.
Yeah, but you're right on the money. Why does he got to win 4 more matches after he's already won 2?
Yeah.
If you're going to do this,
It's 2-0.
it's one apiece.
Cesaro.
It's one apiece, and then you come in
Yes.
and say, okay, we're going to settle this.
You both have 1. It's a best of 7
Yeah.
series.
But you think some people won't catch on? Or some people are not going to pay attention or connect?
I mean, people will follow
It's the
it.
best of 7. Oh, so is it the best of 9?
No, it's starting over the best of 7.
Yeah.
After,
It's the best of
So,
9.
Round 1 is going to be at SummerSlam.
it's just like the Roman thing. Roman proved he was a better man that night whether it was a quote-unquote official match or not, there was a visual pinfall that was counted.
Yeah.
That's the same thing as him beating Rusev. It's this, like, he definitively proved that he was better than Sheamus by beating him twice. Why is there now a misunderstanding about who the better man is? I mean, it's like he's like 2 out of 3, motherfucker. I already won. It's like if I
I'm up 2-0.
yeah, it's like if me and you were like going 2 out of 3, you beat me twice, and then Daniel was like, "How about you guys go best out of 7?" I was like, "Motherfucker, I just won. I beat him 2 out of 3."
No, those don't count.
Yeah, it's like that.
Is it just because they have so many people on the roster and they don't have nothing else?
They're trying to give storylines for. They're trying to give kayfabe reasons for people to be having matches that matter other than these people are just wrestling each other this week. But you got to put a little bit more thought into it than that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are going to do the best of 9,000.
Best of 9,000. And this could also give them some time to think where the next step is going to be for Cesaro and Sheamus. Because obviously this one's going to go quite a while.
Well, I would hope that the winner would be the contender for the Universal title.
That's kind of where I was going. Like, hopefully.
But how long is it going to take us to get these? Is this going to be like a Raw every week thing, or is this going to be like a sometimes Raw, sometimes the pay-per-view? I mean, I guess technically the first match is at SummerSlam, so.
Yeah, SummerSlam, Raw. I would really like to see them go, man, if you weren't at the WWE live event, you know, here's a reason to go. Sheamus and Cesaro had match number 4 in wherever they were that night, and, you know, Sheamus came out on top. So,
you know, I would say there's no reason that they can't just film that and put that on the network,
Yeah.
but we're already complaining about how much
more content!
how much content's out there. It's not that I'm complaining. It's just that I'm like, it's hard to keep up with.
Well, I mean, they've had a title change.
Sure.
They've had the tag titles change at a house show, and they showed like a little clip or you know, still photos or something like that.
They could do like a
something
breaking
like
a
that.
breaking news thing where they just show that match or the finish of it, and they don't have to show the whole event.
Yeah, post that on their Facebook page. Like, ladies and gentlemen, you know, for those of you not aware, you know, 4th match or 3rd match took place inside a WWE live event in such and such arena. Here's some of the highlights.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the same way the NXT title changed hands between Balor and Samoa Joe. It's just a regular live event, and hey, something big happened here.
Yeah, that don't have.
Well, I mean, like at the time, I think we all thought it was because they were gonna push him up to the roster, but they didn't. They didn't actually do that. They waited for the draft. So, in hindsight, it was just a house show that the title changed hands on.
Which drives people to want to go because now it causes people to go, well, hey, something big happened at this show. Could happen at this show. Could it happen at the show I'm going to? Anyways, I don't know. What did y'all think of Sami Zayn versus Sheamus?
I thought it was good, not great.
Yeah.
It was a fine little match. I'm glad Sami was on Raw. He wasn't on last week.
Yeah.
And with a split roster, there is not a real good explanation for why he wouldn't be on the show. Excuse me, other than we needed a main event for a main event or superstars.
Yeah. Well, they're also putting a lot of focus on the SummerSlam matches.
Sure.
So, although, you've got Nia Jax doing a squash match. You've got Kevin Owens and Jericho talking to Tom Phillips and calling him all kinds of different names.
I don't know if
I did chuckle at that, though.
I like the whole segment. I don't know if I'm just way lamer than I'd care to admit, but I was like into their whole little promo. Interview, I guess I should say, is a better word for it. Interview, but
what is it? It.
I thought it was funny. I thought they were like,
it. Is it? What is it?
Is it?
I didn't see that.
Huh?
I didn't see Ross. So what is that?
It's it.
No, was this a part of a segment?
Yeah, it was Jericho and Owens talking to Tom Phillips, and they kept calling him like Dave and then Brian and all kinds of like just completely different names.
So it's still weird
Nathaniel.
with him being with Jericho.
I like the segment.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still a little weird, but I like the segment. I don't know why.
What are your thoughts on the internet giving them the tag name Jericho?
I mean, that's pretty generic. It's just like the whole you combine the two dudes' names thing.
Jericho and Jericho.
I mean, it's not awful, but it's not like something I
could have been worse.
Need to applaud or anything. It's like, any 5-year-old could have fucking done that in 2 minutes.
Yeah. I'm not digging the Gallows and Anderson we're doctors stick.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing was weird. The New Day's reaction to them was even weirder.
You can't touch our New Day rocks.
Well, they tried to get real serious about the Big E being hurt thing. It's like, hey,
that's a real injury.
Yeah.
He's really hurt.
Yeah, and they just went into the whole hip swivel stuff and I don't know. The whole thing is weird. I don't know.
What were they saying about the hip swivel?
No, they're just
they were just doing
they did another little
E.
segment where they're talking about Big E's nuts being hurt or whatever, and then they were like, "Hey, that shit ain't funny. That's serious. You hurt our friend, whatever." And then they just went back into their stick, silly stick, which is a weird
silly stick. You want to see my silly stick?
Did you know that Nia Jax is not most girls?
Not really. Not really to both. Not really to both of your questions. No, I don't really want to see your silly stick, and I didn't really know
Hey, now.
Nia Jax was not like most girls.
What do you think about Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman?
Delilah Doom, though, is I don't know if she's originally from Texas, who is the girl that Nia Jax squashed, but
Rachel Levy?
She is an actual Texas independent wrestler. So
Way to
good
go,
for
Rachel.
her. It was cool to see her on, and she was. I don't know. I think she did well. She took that crazy, over the top rope bump, the shove off. I thought she did well. Good for her. It's cool to see her on TV.
Yeah. What do you think about Heyman and Lesnar and the whole Heath Slater thing?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I was into it.
I only saw a clip. The only thing I saw was Heath Slater walking away from Lesnar and Lesnar beat him up or something.
Well,
like that.
he was Heath Slater came out, interrupted their promo, and he was sort of I gotta fight Brock. That's how I'm gonna get a contract or whatever. And Heyman was like,
Dude,
get the fuck out of here before you get killed. He's like, I have to support my family. I got kids. And he's just and then Brock was like, all right, get in here. Let's talk about this. He's like, I'm a family man.
I really like that part from Lesnar.
He was like, Brock was like, I'm a family
You got
man.
kids.
I got kids.
I
Come on
get
in here.
it.
Let's talk about this. He gets in. Brock gets and says, "I don't give a shit about your kids."
That's legit. They had to bleep it. He was like, I don't give a shit about your kids.
One thing I like about Lesnar is, and I know he's been doing it for a little bit, is like, they're letting him go, whatever. He's like cursing and stuff,
yeah.
they're bleeping. Because it's like the stuff with the Randy Orton
I
stuff.
don't know if it's a let. I think he may just do whatever the fuck
I think he
wants
just
to do.
does it, and they're just like,
Just like
damn
when
it.
they're talking about like Orton, when Orton, they do the promos, Orton's like talk about, yeah, I know him from OVW, and then like, and Brock said, I don't know who the fuck he is. I just,
Well, he's like, I know who he is, but we don't have like a relationship. I mean, I think a little bit is character, but I think to a large extent, on top of the character, it's literally just he sort of does what he wants.
is
to do.
that clip online?
Like, who's gonna reprimand him? I mean,
about, he's like, okay, let's get in the ring and talk about this. And so I don't get-
Probably, I mean, you have to probably go to YouTube or something like that. It's
wanna
not going to
see
be
it.
like on the WWE because they're not going to censor that.
I want to see
and all
that.
But yeah, it was hilarious
Go
because
fuck
he's
all
like,
your kids.
man, you know, I get it. You're here to work, and I'm here to work. You've got kids. I got kids too. But I don't give a shit about your kids. And you get the hell out of this ring because you're pissing me off. And then he like went to walk away, and that's whenever he tried to attack and got his ass handed to him. And then Paul Heyman cuts a really good promo. Good stuff.
See, this is how you hype Lesnar up for a big match. He looks like a total fucking badass. You accomplish that, and you also further the, you're also doing sort of like a comedy thing with Heath. You accomplish both at the same time.
Yeah.
But he's not beating up the guy he's supposed to fight at the pay-per-view because you're supposed to want to see that at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
He looks like a total badass.
And then that bleeds over to SmackDown as well.
Yes. Then Orton looks like a badass, and then they're like, oh, I would like to see these two badasses fight each other. Not, I would want to see these badasses fight each other, but I already saw it, so why am I tuning in to watch it again?
Mm-hmm. When did Darren Young and Titus O'Neil become friends again?
Okay,
Was this
it's a pre-show thing, which
Okay.
I didn't see because I just got home like 20 minutes before the show started. I didn't see
because
the
there was
pre-show.
no explanation for that.
Well, I think they said on the pre-show, but they didn't show a clip of it.
Right.
But supposedly, which I don't know why they went along with it, but supposedly Titus was just like, hey, we should just try and give the primetime players one more go. I think we got, after like 2 weeks of them sort of like being at odds.
Yeah.
I don't know why they'd be like, that's weird. You want to work it out now.
Hey, man, I know I threatened to kick your manager's ass, but let's say we give it one more
knock
shot.
your old ass out.
But
That's right.
before, like you said, before I realized that it was playing off the pre-show, I was like, did they just drop everything and they're a tag team again?
Yeah.
Like, they just hit the hard reset on the primetime players. But I got to admit, I like the idea of primetime players with Bob Backlund. I was like, I'd actually probably prefer that than the Darren Young on his own stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I can get into primetime players with Bob Backlund. Let's do this.
So was it where
But
like
it's-
they just eventually follow each other?
They teamed to go up against Shining Stars, and then Titus was up on the apron, and Bob Backlund distracted him, and Darren got thrown into him, and he was like, "Oh, you did that on purpose."
It wasn't like a distraction. It was like he's doing the coach thing where he's like telling him something to do in the match, and then Darren gets like Irish whipped into him, and he knocks him off the apron, and he was just like,
"What the hell?"
It wasn't like hey, what's going on? It was like I'm pissed. That's the last straw. Even though we just got back together, he just walks in and gives him the
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans. Thank you. That's what I was looking for, and it was just like over.
You know what I find really funny is that on Titus O'Neil's Twitter account, he retweeted the clip that showed Darren Young getting thrown into him. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, so now you're admitting that you're aware of what
It
happened.
was a total miscommunication
Yes.
and not actual a blatant disregard for your friendship.
Yes. So now you're aware, but you're still going to play it off like he did it on purpose.
That's the weird thing about Twitter. It's like, yes, you have to promote your stuff, but also it's like,
You got to try and keep in character.
yeah, I mean, it's weird,
Like, are you in character? Are you not? I get it. You don't. Whatever. Neville and Jinder Mahal. I didn't watch this matchup, although I did call the end.
It was basically a glorified squash match. It was just
Yeah.
Neville doing some cool flying shit.
Yeah. And
Is that Jinder's new role?
I
Probably.
believe that he's just going to be a job guy.
Yeah.
And that's a positive direction. It's not a bad thing for him to just be back as a job guy.
it's a good paycheck. So
I don't know how. There was some talk about the reason a lot of these guys are not coming in that was said this group of guys was coming in is because they're not being offered as much as they would like to be offered to come back and job to like the new crew.
yeah.
So basically, I would assume Mahall's just there to do the
You
job.
think that's what they're gonna do with Kurt Hawkins?
Yes.
Okay. Because they did the whole like Tyson Kidd and Matt Hardy fact stuff for and all they did was copy Chuck Norris facts or whatever from years ago.
I thought that was like a little different because I thought it was just a blatant like Chuck Norris ripoff. So.
It was that mixed with what Tyson Kidd had been doing.
Yeah.
Also,
in
get
NXT.
someone else to come in too, because Shelton's not coming in.
What was the Hawkins thing on Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt like the Rollins promo was a little, nothing too special. I did chuckle at the fan rushing in, and then Michael being like, "Oh, he's in a trance."
I didn't know what the fuck was going on until I read it on the internet after the fact.
Yeah, I figured that because I saw the back of the dude's head.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I missed that.
it was just it was very brief, and then you just see Rollins just staring down, and then he's like, "Is that the Demon King?" And so I was like, "Okay, obviously it was a fan hopping the barricade."
It's like, do I kick this motherfucker or not?
Yeah, that was one of the things where it's like, do we address this? Do we not? And Cole was like, "Oh, Rollins looks like he's in a trance," which that was a weird ad lib, but
He's just super kicked.
yeah. Charlotte defeated Alicia Fox, and then they beat down Sasha, Charlotte and Dana. Anderson and Gallows defeating the Golden Truth. Roman Reigns defeats Rusev, which we talked about. SmackDown happened as well. Did you get to catch SmackDown?
I watched SmackDown. I didn't get to watch Raw.
SmackDown Live. That's right.
So if Doug didn't get to catch SmackDown Live when it aired and he watched it later on, so he just watched SmackDown.
That is correct.
Okay, not SmackDown Live.
Same for me.
SmackDown Live taped.
Taped and then aired later.
Yeah.
But it's live. So we kicked it off. Slater, Orton, Bryan, Shane, all having fun around a fruit basket.
Yeah, he's like,
Orton's
hey.
like, "Yeah, I got an idea."
Then it goes into the.
Why don't you fight me?
Then it goes into the. He says, "I ate the apple," and then it goes straight into the
video package opening. Yeah.
What's his idea? He just ate apple. I got an idea. I'm eating apple. That was it.
This is good. This will keep me away from the doctor.
Yeah.
So Miz TV, I really dug the Ziggler and Ambrose back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but there's something I just don't like between them two. I don't know what it is. I mean, it caught my attention. It kept my attention and all that stuff, but I just can't tell you what it is. I just don't like.
I think Ambrose did a solid job on the mic.
They both did.
Yeah, they both really did a good job. Ziggler with that super kick was great because he was
getting passionate when he was saying all that stuff, and
and you aren't really expecting them to lay hands on one another, or if they do, it's going to be a fair brawl.
So Ziggler's the heel.
Well, yeah, and that's probably what's going to happen after SummerSlam. He's going to be full-fledged heel, but I really dug the super kick because it was I'm passionate, and you never know when that last shot's going to come. Bam, he's down. So I don't know, Doug. What do you think about Miz TV?
I definitely feel like Ziggler has like teeth for the first time in like, I don't know, years. But
He must have had surgery.
Huh?
Go ahead.
What?
He said he must have had surgery, like dental work, because he has teeth for the first time in years.
You know what I mean. It's a figure of speech. It means like there's a little danger to him. He has something that can rip and claw.
Danger!
He's been gumming stuff.
Yeah, he's been using those gums and,
Sorry.
Nobody's scared of those gums. But yeah, I mean, I feel like
I don't know. They can be kind of scary.
I feel like it's all for naught though, because I'm not convinced he wins the title, so I don't know where he goes from here.
Heel mode.
I guess so. I guess that could be a possibility.
Then he can finally live back up to the name of his Twitter handle, Heel Ziggler. Yeah.
More like HEAL. Am I right? That's a bad joke.
Man's
It doesn't
injured.
even really make sense. Why did
Yeah.
I say that?
I don't know.
Why did we laugh at that? It was a
Why did
terrible
you-
joke.
Why did you laugh at that?
Let's be honest.
I like
laugh at
awful
anything.
humor.
You
like
fuckers
terrible
will laugh
jokes.
at anything.
Yes, true.
Just about. So,
He's healing those gums with the. All right, let's go. Continue. Let's walk. We're dropping that. We're walking away.
6-team tag match
Don't even look at it.
ends in chaos.
Leave it on the floor.
They're looking for contenders for the upcoming SmackDown Tag Champions, whatever. How about Naomi's entrance?
Whoa.
How cool was that?
Her song's not as good as the old song.
Yeah, I
well,
like
it's
the
a,
old song
a
better.
remix and all that, but
But damn, what I thought was like, whoa, this is like a spectacle, but also there's a lot to this.
yeah.
She had like a backpack with stuff she was throwing out to people, and it was like a complicated dance.
Mm-hmm.
Is she gonna do her hair like that every week? Is she gonna wear that same thing every week to make it play off the lights?
I hope she switches that up a little bit, but
I was like, okay, that's spectacle, but also that's very complicated entrance.
yeah.
Like,
I liked it though.
I want the old song back.
yeah, the song's not as good.
Mama May,
The more like hip hop version is better. This is like a rave version of it or something.
She's amazing. That darn traffic in
She
Austin.
even had raised for beads or bracelets or whatever.
Yeah. Poor Eva Marie can't even make it to the arena on time because of traffic.
I wonder. I guess they have like. Okay, so this thing is going on. They're just like playing this out where she's not gonna wrestle for weeks or for a longer than that. I don't know. So,
But
how
she's
many-
wrestling at SummerSlam.
Yeah, we'll see. Or she'll be there, but just not get in the ring.
Yeah.
What do you mean she's wrestling at SummerSlam?
She's in a match.
Yeah, she's in the match.
I don't remember that.
They announced it later
At the
on
end.
SmackDown. The
3-on-3.
3-on-3 women.
I watched SmackDown. I don't remember this. I
Well,
was
then
very
you, sir,
tired.
weren't paying
I
attention.
was very
Naomi,
tired. I was very tired.
Becky Lynch, Carmella versus Eva
I
Marie.
mean, I can guess the fucking 6
Alexa
women they
Bliss.
have on the roster. I
Natalia.
can guess the 6 women on SmackDown that would be in a 6-woman match, but
and Asuka.
No, not Asuka. She's not going to be there. She's got her own match at NXT TakeOver.
So I bet they've recorded that announcer guy that does the thing.
Yeah.
I bet they've like recorded a lot of stuff.
I'm sure they have. That or he,
I thought he was doing it live this time
Oh, was it? I don't know.
because he did it different both times.
Who knows?
well,
Ladies and gentlemen.
it's probably
Suck
someone that they have on standby.
Yeah.
Retainer.
Yeah. And it's just like, hey, man, we just need you to say this, this, and this. Okay. I'll get it to you in 15 minutes. And he cuts it, sends it to him. Boom. Use it however you want.
Cut my check.
Because that's what we do for our radio station. We've got a guy out in San Antonio who does all the audio in between songs. Where it's like, you're listening to blah, 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 blah.
That's weird.
Yeah, who would say that on the radio? You're listening to blah, 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 blah. But yeah, he's probably
He
just...
wants to get paid. He should actually say the station's name.
Well, sometimes. But, I mean, sometimes you want to listen to blah, blah, blah. Like the Gorillas.
Yeah. That was about to say that, yeah.
But yeah, so they just hire him to do that. But she got stuck in traffic, whatever. I did chuckle at the Heath Slater segment after the Orton match where he's completely out of it and calls Shane Stephanie by mistake.
Oh, see, I didn't like this one so much.
The thing that I didn't like about it was that Shane was being an asshole.
Yeah, he was being a dick.
It's like, dude,
They
you're
gave him a
walking into the
contract.
trainer's room.
Let's be honest. Brian was kind of a dick too. They were both kind of
yeah.
dicks.
Yeah, they're kind of dicks to
They're
him.
probably making fun of him and stuff.
But it's one of the things where it's like you're walking into the trainer's room, you see that he's delirious. He's saying that he beat up Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton. So you know his mind is not all there. And then you get offended whenever he miscalls your name?
You're looking good, Stephanie.
Yeah, like, come on. Whatever.
Let me take that contract.
Don't be an ass.
Was
What do
it-
you
I swear I thought I heard some boos whenever they took the contract away. Did you hear a little?
Yeah, there
I think
were.
There were.
Because they cheered whenever he put the contract in front of him.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
What do you see as the end game? Who does he beat to eventually get?
Nobody.
Nobody.
He's a free floater for years.
Free floater. That sounds like. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
Whatever
know
it
what
needs to
Sting
be.
came with that. I really don't.
He gets terminated.
Did you suspect something fishy whenever they offered the contract? Like, he's not going to sign it.
They're always going to do that.
No, I actually thought it was done. I was like,
That's what I thought,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is where they end it. But he's a SmackDown boy. But nope.
He's going to interfere in the Brock Lesnar-Randy Orton match. Hey, man, this is going to be a triple threat now.
That would be actually hilarious because I'm almost certain that Lesnar Orton's the main event of SummerSlam. Would actually be
And Jon
hilarious.
Stewart comes down to help out, and chaos ensues.
I'm actually way in favor of him trying to get involved in the main event of SummerSlam.
Heath Slater pins Orton and Lesnar at the same time
No, if
for that contract, baby.
no one's pinning Lesnar. He's pinning Orton.
Hey, save it for predictions, boy.
Yeah, come on,
for
man.
predictions. There is a structure to this show.
I do.
Thank you.
It's
That's
a
what I was
free
waiting
What
for.
I
flow
want to do.
structure, but
Do what I want to do.
What's up with Bray and
we
Rowan?
dropped all the structure except for there is a prediction segment.
There's a skeleton,
and then the prediction segment.
and the prediction is
That's the
the
only
hip
rule we
bone.
have anymore, and you're just like, nope.
Nope.
Those are some great picks. Hot topics.
And those are some great dicks.
No. So, what's going on with Rowan and Wyatt? Are they splitting up? Is it Splitsville?
I don't know.
How can
When
they
is,
coexist on the
Harper
same show?
coming back?
He's still a little ways away. I think he's about a month away,
I don't know.
perhaps.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Ambrose won, defeated Eric Rowan. Bray was upset.
I don't know, man.
Good night.
Becky and Carmella going up against Natalya and Alexa Bliss.
Disarmor.
Yeah, Natalya taps for the second week in a row.
Yep. Also, we got the
Eva Marie and
Coming back.
Naomi.
chase through.
Baron Corbin attacking Kalisto backstage again.
Smushed up his face against the wall.
Yeah. And then Cena defeats Del Rio. Anything about the match?
Well, they got into a little bit of a
A little scuffle.
scuffle. Okay, we'll say scuffle after the match. That's about it.
And then AJ attacked and ended up getting put through a table. End of show.
He did the flying bip.
Boop.
He got ready to fly.
And while we're on the topic of Del Rio and his new lady in life, Paige, both been suspended for 30 days.
Yep.
First violation of the wellness
Let's
policy.
speculate wildly.
Cocaine.
All right, moving on.
That's what I suspect.
Well, I mean, it's clear it's not pot. We know that's just a fine. If they both got a wellness violation,
then they were doing it together.
She's not on the roids, obviously. She's
Yeah.
a very petite woman. Yeah. I mean, I think we nailed it.
Woo!
Speculation, of course. No. We're not alleging anything. We are wildly speculating.
Absolutely.
We're stating.
Do we
that.
ever figure out, so he, divorced his ex?
Yeah. Yeah. And what's really funny is that yesterday when I was driving home from work, I heard a public service announcement with Alberto Del Rio.
Really?
Yeah. It was
For
like,
what?
take a moment to read to your kids and, be a dad kind of thing. Sort of like how they did with Titus O'Neil,
Okay.
where they were like, okay, Alberto, it was supposed to be like someone, I guess, in the studio. I was like, okay, Alberto, let's hear the take. And it's like, a big giant monster comes from the forest. And they're like, okay, one more time. A big, he does it bigger. And they're like, and then it cuts to like, I guess his daughter. And she was like, say it again, daddy. And then he does it in, his daddy voice, whatever. A big giant monster came from the forest. And then it goes, this is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. And, just reminding you to be a father.
I think he's gone after. I think his contract's up
Yeah.
in September or October. I don't think he's going to renew.
I saw one comment where it was like WWE picked him up so that no one else could have him because he was doing fairly well on the independent circuit, and they were like, "Yeah, come back." And
I don't
get
know
everything
because
you
he
ever
was
dreamed
already
of.
like a big deal. He was already like basically, other than Ray, the established top guy of AAA. So I don't know that it was they were prohibiting him from being a top guy. I think it was they thought he was going to fill out. I think that they thought he was going to fill out their roster, but he has aspirations for being a top guy like he should. So I think it was just he was promised more than they were.
Yeah,
he'll ever come back to WWE, or this is like this.
I didn't think he was coming back this soon or at all. Like after the Punch Out.
This is my second time, my second go through, and then I'm like, all this stuff happened.
This one was worse than the last
deal with
time.
this shit, anymore. I don't know.
I mean, he can go right to Mexico and be a top guy again.
Yeah.
They'll slot him right back in as long as he has a good working relationship with them. I don't know.
Well, they also take Paige.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they took Paige. I mean, if
Paige
I know you said that jokingly, but I wouldn't be surprised if they took her too. But I mean, I don't know.
She's pretty smitten with him.
I don't know if he burned a bridge to go back. I don't know if he burned a bridge to go back to WWE, but if he didn't, he can just walk right back in to being a top guy.
Yeah. She did get that tattoo. It says Poppy on it. It's just so weird. So.
That's vague enough. That could just be her dad, man. Come on.
Sure. Yeah. That's what it is.
I love my daddy.
So with that being said, we got to hear those picks. We got to hear those picks. We got to hear those picks.
I don't know.
What the hell is wrong with you guys?
I don't know, man.
Just tired, ready to go?
Fucking tired.
All right. Well, SummerSlam taking place this Sunday on the WWE Network.
Sunday.
NXT Takeover happening the day before. We'll talk about that after, I guess. Maybe.
Why would we do it like that?
Because we're a free-flowing show now.
That's excuses. Let's talk about
chicks, man.
Yep, that's it.
So, 11 matches on the card right now. It's being hyped as a 4-hour event.
Bullshit.
So,
with a 2-hour pre-show.
2-hour pre-show, which I probably won't catch all of that.
You will.
Ooh.
You would like it.
So, let's kick things off.
Just really quick on the pre-show thing. It'd be one thing if they save all the pre-show matches for 1 hour, and then if they think they need to do an hour of recapping storylines and talking, fine, put that in the first hour. But put the fucking matches together that for those of us who have to, live a fucking adult life, can just, go to the match part without having to fucking skip around your 2-hour pre-show.
Yes.
At least do that fucking much. Can we do that? Can we do that, please?
Yes.
Never.
Maybe. Perhaps. So this match, if they do have a kickoff match, I feel like this will be one of them. Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi teaming up to go up against Natalya, Eva Marie, and Alexa Bliss.
And Maurice. Not
Maurice. She's going to be busy with other things. So, Tyler, we'll kick things off with you. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Let me think about this.
Okay. You have yourself a nice think.
I wonder if... I don't know. I feel like that Eva Marie is not going to really, she'll be there, but not
She's going to be the shining star there. Not of the Caribbean, but of the ring.
Unless, one of the other girls, do, their special move and knocks out the other girls, and, she'll, tag herself in and get the pin. She didn't really wrestle.
Yeah.
I'll go with Eva Marie.
Eva Marie, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss. All right, Doug?
I'm with Tyler. The heel team, Eva Marie is not going to wrestle at all, like Tyler said, but she'll get the pinfall on Becky.
Allow yourself to be seduced by the all-red everything herself, Eva Marie.
Yourself to be fucked.
Whoa. Hey now. She's married. And so are you. Where's your wedding ring?
What happened to it?
Oh.
Fell off.
Yeah, it fell.
He lost it.
It fell while he's talking about Eva Marie. So I'm going to go with the heel ladies as well.
Heel ladies.
Hello, ladies. Natalya, Eva Marie, and Alexa Bliss. Tyler, since you went first, we'll let you pick the next matchup. What's it going to be? We got 10 more to go.
Miz versus Apollo Crews. What was he calling Apollo?
Creed. Yeah. So Miz versus Apollo Crews.
Consequences
the
Creed.
Brian was an accident, but I think they're just playing on.
Now they're doing it intentionally. So Intercontinental Championship on the line. To be honest, I completely forgot this match was happening. So Doug, we'll start it off with you. Miz versus Apollo Crews, Intercontinental
Creed.
title on the line.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can see a case for either guy.
I don't know. I
the
feel
build,
like
the
there's
build for this match alone, the power bomb between commercials.
I feel like they need to. Oh well, there hasn't been like too much build up, but like I guess pass on to someone doing that. I know they want to. I feel like they want to give the ball to Apollo. I don't know for sure, but I mean, what else is going on?
Whoa, you got Maurice in Miz's corner.
I don't know. I
Will
don't
that
really
be
have too
a
much of a reason.
contributing factor?
Just give the kid a belt. Give Apollo the belt.
So you're going with Apollo Crews?
Yeah.
All right, Doug?
I'm still thinking.
I'm going to say Miz keeps the title on this one. I don't know why. I just feel like the World Tour is not stopping yet.
Oh yeah. You know what time it is. Keep on rolling.
I'm gonna say Miz too.
Miz? All right.
Yeah, Miz.
All right, Doug, since you went first on that one, I guess, pick the next match we're going to talk about.
Okay, good. Cesaro and Sheamus.
So round 1 of the best of 7, which technically
Best of 9.
round 3 of the best of 9. Cesaro up 2-0. Who are you going to go with on this one?
I think Sheamus has to win this one.
Yeah, I think he's got to start strong, especially since he lost the first 2 matches. I'm going to pick Sheamus as well.
Me too.
All right, so all unanimous for Sheamus. Sheamus. Let's talk about Enzo and Cass versus Jericho and Owens. I feel like this would be a good chance. Well, either team would do fine.
I don't know. I just don't feel like Enzo and Cass are gonna lose
Yeah.
this match. I don't know. I just have that feeling.
I'm with Tyler. I got Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like that Owens and Jericho could take the loss.
Well, that's one thing, but you also have to remember Owens has Jericho's back. And Enzo and Cass,
They're gonna turn on it, or he's gonna turn on it.
they better watch out for it.
Okay, watch my back.
No, they better watch out for it.
Okay, his back.
It.
Oh yeah, the it thing.
You were supposed to say.
God, Tyler, you ruined everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Doug, you said you're picking Enzo and Cass
Yeah.
for your prediction. Tyler, Enzo and Cass.
Yep.
Do I want to go against you guys or not?
Do it. You gotta stand out.
I think you should.
You should. You
definitely go against
get those points. It's a good chance.
Make it some
Well, you and I are tied, so
Well, just do the opposite.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go Jericho and Owens on this one. Why not? So,
What a loser. Sucker. Hey, let's just do this to him every time.
all right, Tyler, we'll pick the next match. We got the tag team, the women's, the U.S. Titles all on the line, the WWE Championship, Universal.
Rusev versus Roman Reigns.
Rusev versus Roman Reigns, United States title on the line. Who are you going to go with?
Rusev.
All right, Doug?
Whew, I don't know. Because I felt like they were going to put it on Roman coming in. But to Raw, after that, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I felt like maybe they were going to give Rusev maybe a little time off for the honeymoon or something, take the belt off him.
They already
that's a
did the
good idea.
honeymoon.
Is it?
They did the honeymoon.
They're having like a month-long ceremony because they're going to be flying to Bulgaria to have a wedding ceremony.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Sounds fancy.
Sounds extravagant.
Sounds expensive.
Sounds expensive, yeah.
I don't know why Roman beat him on a Raw. That's throwing, like, I don't know what that means.
Do you give it to him 2 in a row like that?
Yeah.
Especially now that the title's on the line. You've shown that he can be beaten. Like, Rusev was on a massive tear, and now he's been beaten. And
A tear. Where was the tear at?
the back, where he crushed you. So who are you picking? Rusev?
Rusev.
Okay.
He's gonna crush.
Gonna crush him?
Yeah. He's gonna drink Orange Crush.
Doug, deep in thought. Where's your head at, man?
I'm gonna take Rusev.
Rusev? I'm going to go with Rusev on this one.
I was like, you should pick Roman.
Yeah, I probably should. But, oh well.
Just because, fuck Roman.
I don't know why you beat him on Raw just to have him lose again on the thing.
To give him momentum. I won't be surprised if Roman wins. I'll put it that way.
Me neither.
Let's talk tag team championships. New Day versus Gallows and Anderson. I feel like Big E was taken out for a reason because he's the big enforcer. That's not what
he's been taken out for a reason because he's going to return at the pay-per-view and even the odds.
Nah.
Or you mean stack the odds against the heel team?
Why did I say even the odds? Yeah, that's what I meant.
I feel like this is going to be the time where they take the titles from New Day, and I'm going to pick Gallows and Anderson.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
same.
I'm thinking New Day. I think Tyler's right. I think New Day return. I think Big E returns, but he somehow pushes it in New Day's favor. I'm thinking New Day.
All right. So good stuff. Tyler, what's the next match we'll talk about?
Although it is time to take the belts off of them.
Sure.
Obviously.
Because it's like, where do you go from there? And
sure,
you want to give Enzo and Cass a chance to maybe shine.
I'm going to get ready to fly.
AJ Styles versus John Cena.
Yes. I don't know if the rumors are true, but
rumors.
Yeah, I don't know if John Cena is gonna, take some time off or not, but or whatever. But
yeah, there is a rumor that he's taking time off to go shoot season 2 of whatever show it was that he shot. That
who
reality
knows?
show.
But no, I think AJ needs to go over.
Yeah.
Just
be the face that beat the face that runs the place.
We'll go with that.
All right, so you're picking AJ Styles,
yeah.
Doug?
I'm going AJ too. I think he's the contender to the title. He's the new contender to the title.
And I will make it unanimous. I'm picking AJ Styles as well. So, Doug, what's the next matchup we'll talk about? We've got 4 remaining. Women's champion, WWE champion, Universal champion, and then Viperville versus Suplex City.
Let's do the women's.
All right, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the women's championship. Dana Brooke,
Dana Brooke
banned from ringside.
Yeah, Sasha should win this.
But now her knee is in question.
Well, there was that whole weird thing about how the betting odds like shifted like weirdly disproportionate to. I think she's still the favorite, but
never tell me the odds, kid.
It was some like weird shift or something. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Sasha has worked so too hard for them to do that to her.
It'd definitely be a boneheaded move to.
Yeah. I think it'd also be a good way to say that Charlotte needs that scheme to help her win.
Yeah.
Scheming. So Sasha Banks, I'm picking to retain.
I think Charlotte's gonna win, but I'm officially picking Sasha, but I think Charlotte might win. Which is a very dumb thing to do.
Sasha.
All right. So all unanimous picking Sasha Banks to retain. Let's talk the WWE Championship. Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. I don't feel that this is going to be the time for Ziggler. Sorry for all you Ziggler fans out there. I do, however, feel this will be a pretty solid matchup, followed by a heel turn by Dolph Ziggler. A full heel turn, I should say.
Dolph Ziggler.
Which could lead to a rematch for the whatever pay-per-view is next for them. I think it was
No Mercy?
No Mercy, yeah.
I think that's what Heath Slater gave to them. And
yeah, hey, man, that's a great name for our next pay-per-view. That was so lame. I'm picking Dean Ambrose.
Same here.
Same.
All right. Well, that was easy. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins, Universal Championship on the line. A title we have yet to see, but it does.
It's going to be the same belt, but it's going to be a red background, and they're going to change the the black one to blue behind. I saw some mock-up, and it might just be a fan thing, but it was like same belt as now. There's 2 of them, but behind the W is red on the Universal. Behind the W is blue on the World Heavy.
I don't know.
It looked completely fine to me.
Yeah.
It might just be some fan fucking around, though.
I also saw one where they changed, the little stripe that goes across the bottom of the W.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it from red to blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here's the SmackDown championship. And then
it's like the same thing, but that one little thing.
Just that one little difference. So it's Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. Winner becomes Universal Champion. We've discussed this for a couple weeks now. You're bringing up Finn Balor. You're looking to make new stars. I feel like this is a good opportunity for them to do so in the eyes of the casual WWE fans. And be like, hey, this guy's legit. He beat Seth Rollins and became the Universal Champion. I think this is going to be a good time to have a brand new breakout star in Finn Balor. We know what he's capable of. You know that he's able to take the ball and run, and he's going to be a star. And if he loses, then all that's for naught. So I'm picking Finn Balor to win and become the first Universal Champion.
I'm going to take Balor, too. I mean, for the same reason. It's just like, if you're going to solidify the guy as a star, this is the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like I could see WWE do another.
I could totally see them giving it to Rollins. I just think why the hot and heavy push out of the gate for him if he's not going to win.
Although they did bring out the Demon King early. So
Balor 3.
All right. So all 3 of us picking Finn Balor to become the first Universal Champion, which brings us to Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton, Viperville versus Suplex City.
So stupid.
A snake versus a beast.
It only take one RKO to go to Viperville.
A dad versus a dad. And we don't give a shit about their kids.
Come on here. Let's talk about this.
So, Doug, we'll start with you. Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. First off, do you think this is going to be a good match? And then second, who do you think is going to win?
I'm not sure if it's going to be a good match. Because I think Lesnar has his formula that he likes to work. I don't know if he's going to be willing to get out of that formula. I don't know if Orton can make that formula compelling if he doesn't get out of it. I'm not sure if it's going to be a good match or not, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a big question mark for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be kind of a letdown, but I don't really have too high expectations for this matchup to begin with. I could see them trying to do like an RKO from a suplex. Like he lifts him over his head and Orton turns around somehow in midair and comes down with it. As weird as that would sound, or maybe out of an F5 he could do it, which would be a good spot for the crowd to pop on. But yeah, other than that, Orton's style and Lesnar's style don't really mesh well in my eyes. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. For all I know, it could be a 5-star match. But
I think it could be good, but I think it could be bad.
Yeah. How about you, Tyler?
This could be a little weird to me, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah. Just because it was one of those things where it's like they announced it and it was like, really? All right. But, all right. So, Doug, who are you going to go with on this matchup?
Well, I think, like, in light of all, like, the drug testing stuff and, like, the needing to have, like, someone on their roster, like, get a win over this guy before it's too late, before things get out of hand or anything weird. And there's the whole, like, it only takes 1 second before I can't even continue and break character and go, Brock Lesnar. Of course it's Brock Lesnar. Come on, guys.
Tyler, I thought you were going to say it takes 1 RKO to go to Viperville.
Well, I was trying to, like, make it seem like that. I was fucking with you, dog. Yeah, Lesnar, of course.
Tyler?
1 RKO is not going to keep him down. Shit.
It's going to take like 3 of them.
No. Bork Laser.
Bork Laser. All right. So if Bork Laser wins, then you get the point. But if Brock Lesnar wins, you do not get the point.
No, Brock Lesnar.
I get your point.
Doug gets your point because he needs to play catch up.
I gotta make up the point.
Brock Lesnar, motherfucker.
So Bork Laser, your final answer?
Brock Lesnar.
Bork Laser. All right. I'm gonna pick Brock Lesnar as well.
That's just, I would pick Bork Lesnar as well.
Bork Laser is my point. I just want to give a point to Doug. So yeah. So let us know in the comments who you think is walking away from SummerSlam.
Who's walking away from SummerSlam?
Yeah.
I'm walking away.
I'm walking away. Yeah. So with that being said, those were some great picks. Those were some great picks. Those are some great picks. Stop saying dicks.
Those are some great picks. Those
So-
are some great picks.
Okay.
Pecs.
Walk alone.
What?
I was waiting to do that when he said I walk away from SummerSlam. I wanted to do that. But
All right. Here's some. We'll talk about NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2. It's taking
why are
place
we
on
going out of
Saturday.
chronological order?
Dude, just let it. I don't know. It's just
No.
we don't have a flow anymore, and it's just the show's off the tracks. Doesn't matter. But we're gonna talk about it anyways. Billy Kay versus the debut of Ember Moon.
Ember Moon, of course.
Well, we don't have to give our predictions, but I mean, yeah, by all means, if you want to say who
Ember
you
Moon.
think is going to win and all that. So
Oh,
I think in the debut, you got to give it to Ember Moon.
Ember.
Ember, that's totally what I said. No Way Jose versus Austin Aries singles match. That's going to be a coin flip. I think they might give it to No Way Jose.
No way. Jose. No way. Jose. Play that song right now. That's when you put the music in.
No.
Yeah.
Copyrights and all that.
No,
Can't do
they
that.
don't give a shit.
No, they'll catch us.
Are they? Will they really?
They'll catch us.
How will you know?
Oh, I'll know.
They don't know shit.
Whoa. Okay. The
Who are they?
Revival going up against Gargano and Ciampa for the
Ooh.
NXT Tag Team
I
Championship.
hope Gargano and Ciampa win that.
That should be a good match, regardless of who wins.
Win that shit.
Bobby Roode going up against how do you say it? Andrade?
See it?
Cien Almas. Going up against Bobby Roode. I predict that this match will be glorious. Anyways, did you guys happen to see his Bobby Roode's live video on Facebook? If you get the chance,
I don't know.
check it out, because he did like a live Q&A for like 12 minutes or so, and everything that the fans asked him, he turned it back into, yeah, well, it's going to be glorious. Like nearly every question that was asked.
I'm not surprised about that.
That's his
Yeah.
thing. Now he's gonna.
He didn't allude to where he was before. He was like, yeah, I've wrestled all over the world and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I'm really focused on NXT right now and making things glorious. So,
Yeah, I'm already over the glorious thing.
yeah. I mean, the music is fine, but
Yeah, the song's fine, but I'm just like, they've already like glorious to me out.
look at it! Accept it! It's yours now! It's going to be glorious. Asuka versus Bayley. That should be an outstanding matchup.
It's like Ashka.
I don't know. Do you? I would love to see Bayley finally get the call up, but I could see them giving her the title so that she can make the history and be the second woman or the two-time NXT Women's Champion. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think she's probably coming up.
Yeah,
It really feels like, what is there left for her to do?
she has to beat the unbeaten in Asuka and become the two-time Women's Champion.
Time.
And what does that do for her? And what does that do for the
It
show?
makes her better.
All right. I'm not arguing with this guy.
Yeah, she's probably gonna lose, but that's okay.
I mean, I think she's done. I think she's coming up.
Yeah. Then the main event, Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT
I have no
Championship.
clue what they want to do. Who's coming up, or if they're both staying down, or
Shinsuke's winning that strap, boy.
Joe's coming up. Or they're gonna have a rematch. I would think
And then he'll probably be on his way up.
Joe
yeah.
will be up.
Yeah. Joe.
Mama.
Hey now, I'm talking about my mama. You don't know my mama like that. Did y'all guys get to see the Cruiserweight Classic last week?
Yeah, motherfucker.
Man, how about those matches?
And I know there was a lot of hype for Ibushi and Alexander, but like I don't want to overlook the Metallic and T3 match.
Absolutely.
It was really good too.
That was one of the finer matches that I've seen in a while. that had a lot of great counters.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great mat wrestling with the high flying thrown in. You know, like Doug said, you know, everyone's talking about the Ibushi Alexander match, but do not overlook the Grand Metalik. I can't say it right.
Metalik.
You said it right.
Oh, okay. Versus Tajiri.
Metallic.
It was good.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, and Ibushi Alexander was crazy good. I mean, and there's a lot of hype out there, and it's deserving of a lot of hype. It's like super emotional. The crowd really invested and got behind Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically the story of the match was just like Alexander like did everything he could to win, but he just kept coming up short. They were
threw
just like
everything he had into that match.
Ibushi just like overcame, and
Yeah.
he really won the crowd over. I think the crowd, like, I remember the crowd getting behind him in the opening matches, the opening round, but they like really invested hard in this guy in this match, and they, I mean, I don't know, they just like, I don't even know what to say. It was like one of those like sort of genuine moments that sort of happened where you could tell he was touched by the outpouring of support, and they were just like, it looked like they broke the format of the show just to capture the special moment at the end.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were done. It seemed like they were wrapping up. None of the other shows had gone back to the live crowd after they went to the studio the last time, and you could tell they just wanted to catch that special moment because if you haven't seen it, the crowd was like chanting like "Please sign Cedric," and he was just like, you could tell he was moved and just like, you know, like giving like grace back to the crowd, and then Triple H comes out and is like, good idea, like as in, you
Let's
know,
go talk about this contract.
Yeah, so and he just sort of like
gives a thumbs up, and he's like, don't worry, we'll take care of him.
Yeah,
Come
but
back to my
it was
office.
pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out. If you are not watching the Cruiserweight Classic and you're complaining about lack of action on Raw or SmackDown, check this out because holy crap. And I love how invested Brian gets into it and Morrow gets into it, and like they're even putting importance of the time limit. They're like, oh my god, there's only 5 minutes left in this match. What's gonna happen if like we cannot allow a match like this to run out of time? Like one of these guys is gonna have to finish off his opponent. Like even that, it just adds to it, and it's so well done. So
It looks like the format we're gonna get like going forward with the second round is probably 2 matches an episode instead of 4, where they're gonna give him a little bit more time.
yeah.
I mean, it may not be like a rigid thing where they stick to that, but it seems like they're going to shift down. But
Yeah. So, all right, time to stretch a little bit.
yeah, definitely go out of your way to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Time to move into hot topics. Lord. Shawn Michaels, he is going to be joining the WWE Performance Center as the coach. Or
That's like not as cut and dry as that. Supposedly, he was down there doing some guest training, and he's sort of deciding if he wants to move to Florida to be a full-time trainer or not. I listened to the conference call today that they do for the NXT quarterly conference calls where they like sort of take the questions from the press or whatever. And basically what Triple H said was that it's all on Shawn. Like if that's what he wants to do, then he's totally welcome to do it. But he's sort of like,
he's not obligated.
well, he's like, it may be like, supposedly he was like invigorated and felt like cool, like he wanted to have a role, but is that like a sometimes guest trainer role or is that like a full-time coach role? It's in Shawn's court. Like, does he want to uproot and move to Florida?
Gotcha.
And whatever. So it's not as cut and dry as Shawn Michaels' new head trainer or anything like that. It's like he was doing some training. He might be more full-time training, but it's sort of up in there.
And that would
from
be,
my understanding.
and that would be crazy if he does. Like, can you imagine like the invigoration that those kids are gonna get? Like, my God, like, dude, we're working with Shawn Michaels, the guy, the top guy. It'd be crazy. So, moving into WWE 2K17 news. Tyler, you want to talk a little bit about this? Some of the updates that we've gotten?
Sure. You want me to switch spots with you?
If you'd like.
Because I can't see all the people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. It's so weird over here.
Oh yeah. Well, every Tuesday they come out with a lot. Like it's like I don't know how many that is, but that's a lot of people. 69. So far, there's a lot of 69s. So far, they got announced this time around was AJ Styles, Alexa Bliss, Alundra Blaze, Arn Anderson, Bam Bam Bigelow, Becky Lynch, Bo Dallas, Bubba Ray Dudley, Bushwhacker Butch and Bushwhacker Luke, Christian, Curtis Axel, Dana Brooke, Dolph Ziggler, Devon Dudley,
8 penis boobs.
8 penis boobs, Emma,
The
Eva
one
Marie.
time you could have got him back. What? You sleep?
I did 69.
Oh,
so.
did you
Yeah,
see
he
that?
did tons
Yeah.
of 69s. Eva Marie, Fandango.
Did you know he was gonna read that, or did you do it after you switched?
He did after his
Okay.
switch. Kofi Kingston,
Whoa.
Lita, Mr. Perfect, Naomi, Natalia, Neville, Randy Savage, Rick Rude, Rikishi, Shawn Michaels, Stardust, Sting, Summer Rae, Tamina, Tatsumi. How you say that? Trish Stratus, Tyler Breeze, and Xavier Woods. That's like every Tuesday. They've been announcing that many people. We have some screenshots and videos that came out of certain superstars. We have New Day's entrance, but we also know that there's not going to be a 2K showcase mode at all. Just because they said they want to do something with Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar is the cover superstar, but certain people of his past, they couldn't get them in the game. They wanted to go through, most, not a lot. They couldn't get certain superstars. So they said they couldn't give the 100% on that, so they axed that, and they want to take that energy and focus more on like career mode and universe mode. And
Nice.
so, I mean, oh my god, I don't know if y'all seen the videos, but like
I've seen a couple
the
of them.
backstage stuff and like the ladder stuff and.
I mean, anytime you send me anything, I just ignore it.
Yeah, well, that's what I expected. So,
At least
Oh,
you-
Tyler
at
sent
least
some
you
shit.
don't pumped.
Yeah.
he sent some shit. I gotta listen
I'm
to
just
that.
kidding. He sent it to me.
Every
was at
time I
work.
click on it, it says, "Hey, download the IGN app," and I'm like, "Screw this."
That's why I get my
Send it to me
information.
when I'm at work. And I'm like, I'll look at this later. And I
Never
I
look
never
at
do.
it. But
He sees it, he just doesn't acknowledge.
I showed him. There were some images that they showed. Like AJ Styles looks good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. And they showed some images of.
I bet you're pumped.
Oh, for sure. And I saw some gameplay of AJ Styles. It looks good. But I saw some.
The backstage brawls are back.
Yeah,
and,
that looks pretty
brawl
cool.
in the hallway.
Brawl in the Hallway. That's a pay per view.
crawl in your maw.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But there's screenshots of Shinsuke's entrance. He looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Damn good. You can ask him, yeah. But no,
did
yeah,
it look
man.
good, Doug?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Nah,
shit.
It looked good.
Are you lying to me, A-Bear?
He looked good for a first timer. The first time guys always look a little off.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good for the first
Yeah,
timer.
I was telling him, just like, you remember Brian Pillman was in the game last year and didn't look like Brian Pillman. It looked like create a character.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, man. I'm super pumped, and I want to know who else is going to be in there. Like, I'm wondering if Austin made the cut or not. Austin Aries, not Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's going to make it. But, so we'll see where they go from there. And, yeah, I'm super pumped. I still got to finish paying off the NXT edition.
Yeah, a little bit at a time.
Yeah, a little bit of time. I'm not
Little bit
paying
at
all
a
at once. Shit.
Yeah. Good
Back
stuff.
to you.
Nah, you can keep it going.
Okay, we can do Q&A.
Okay, time for the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us from
Adam.
Adam.
A-D-O-M.
I believe that's from YouTube.
Adam.
Whoa.
Sorry. YouTube. Have you guys heard of the What Culture Wrestling channel? If so, what do you think of their content? I've never heard of them.
The name sounds familiar, but
What Culture Wrestling channel?
I'm not familiar with their content. It's not a place that I currently go to like seek anything out.
I have heard of some of their stuff. I've seen a couple of their videos. I mean, it's all right. It's not something I'm subscribed to and don't really plan on subscribing
So it's
to.
like it's a channel. They also have like a podcast, or what are they?
They do. Oh, what do they do? They'll do like 10 things you might not have known about Stephanie McMahon. 10 things WWE wants
is
you
that
to
one of those
forget about.
clickbaits?
Not necessarily, but they do other kinds of videos. But that's
Like listicles and shit like that.
yeah.
Oh,
Or
so sometimes they do videos.
What just happened on Raw kind of stuff, you know.
Oh.
The name sounds like really familiar, but it's not anything I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Adam. Next
Sorry,
is from.
bro.
Not to discourage anyone. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to discourage anyone from.
I just
checking it out.
have never heard of it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not either because I don't have an opinion of it. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
okay. Next is from Wayne.
Wayne.
I would like to know your thoughts about how I can't talk. How you think WBE is now compared to the Attitude Era days? Do you guys think it's better now or back then? Or if not, which era was your favorite? Great news about your dad, Tyler. Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. I hate cancer.
I mean, I think from like a in-ring perspective, I think that I would say, I mean, I think there is a higher quantity of quality matches now as opposed to then. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of rose tinted glasses and a lot of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Why did my brain shut off on me?
I don't know.
I think there's like a lot of
Yes.
there's like a lot of like a God. What's that one word? Come on, guys. It's a really common word. I don't know why I can think of it.
Fuck.
There's a lot of fucking nostalgia.
Oh,
for-
nostalgia.
Yeah, that one. Thanks.
Nostalgia.
I got you back. Don't worry.
Yeah, he got it. He got that one. Yeah,
You got
nostalgia.
that.
That's
You
it.
got that. There's a lot of nostalgia for the Attitude Era. There's a lot of like rose tinted glasses for the Attitude Era. And I'm not saying it was all bad. I'm just saying I don't know if you were to go back and revisit that and try to be as objective as possible. I don't think that it holds up to the like. I don't think all of it holds up to this like legendary status that everyone like unflinchingly gives it. You know.
I think it was a different time period and people were different ages back then. So I mean, I know I was younger.
Me too.
And
I mean, yeah.
I
We all were younger.
Yeah, we're all younger. But I mean, no,
I was
I was
young once.
older back then.
Here's a picture of me when I was younger. Well, no shit. Every picture of you is when you were younger. Hey, here's
Well,
a picture of me when I was older. How the
what I
fuck
mean
did you
is
do that? Let me see that
I
kid.
look at wrestling differently than I did back then. So
Yeah, I don't want to say. I'm not taking a shit on the Attitude Era. I'm just saying
I am.
that. Go ahead.
That's what you grew up on, though.
I just did. I fired on it.
I just think that so much of the Attitude Era is just sort of like whimsically like not thought about and just be like, oh, it was so much better back then, but no one like really tries to make like a really objective like comparison between
Yeah.
the two.
Well, it's one of those things where back then there were good matches, there were poor matches. Just like today, there are good matches, there
Yeah.
are poor matches. You know, for every Rock versus Austin, there was also a Pat Patterson and Jared Briscoe versus China. You know, there were matches that made absolutely no sense, but because it was attitude, it was great. But you go back and rewatch it today, and you're like, this match was shit.
Right.
Then you go into see some of the matches today, and you're like, this match is shit. But then you also have great matches like Alexander and all of them. You know, it's as far as today's world compared to the Attitude Era, the wrestlers are being safer due to the lack of chair shots because of what we know about concussions now, the lack of blood and blading due to the knowledge that we have of transmitted diseases.
There was something I saw. I don't know if I guess it was on Facebook, and I do not remember this at all. It was like Triple H and Stone Cold versus like Jeff Hardy and Lita, and like they were beating the shit out of Lita with a chair. Did you ever remember that? Like they were like
Not off the top of my
vicious
head, but-
with
That's
it.
the Attitude Era, yeah!
I think I saw it on like YouTube. They were vicious with Lita
I'm
with
sure they
that
were.
chair. I'm like, oh shit, they wouldn't take certain shots like that. Like it wasn't direct like head
Well,
shot,
yeah.
but like it was more vicious. I'm like, oh man, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. Where,
I think a lot of people were like, they equate like without thinking about it, they just equate with like a non-PG product, and the fact that they were cursed or did like a little bit of edgy or like sexual innuendo stuff, they equate that with like that was somehow better just because it was a little raunchier or whatever, which I don't really understand. But I'm also an old surly ass man at this point in my life.
Edge and Lita, this was the Attitude Era, but it's like Edge and Lita had sex in the middle of the ring.
Getting ready to, at least.
Get up.
No.
That's post Attitude Era.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. That's why I said before it's not Attitude Era, but I just
It's just, there's good matches and there's bad matches, and there's some great matches. And there were puppies, apparently. But, what people remember most from the Attitude Era, not necessarily the matches.
Mop.
It's the moments. It's the Austin in the beer truck and the mop. Yeah, sure.
and
Sure,
head.
why not? And head.
Everybody
wants head. Yes.
All right, let's play this game. Just like Tyler listed everything he can remember about TNA. Let's see how many.
Remember that time Kurt Angle drove the milk truck?
Fuck off.
Remember that time Stone Cold threw the title into the river?
Me fuck off? You fuck off. You rode with me here.
Remember that time The Rock
I love
threw
you. Fuck
the
off to
title
Daniel.
into the river?
I'm saying fuck off to Daniel.
Remember that time Stone Cold Steve Austin threw The Rock into the river?
They threw a lot of things in the river.
Remember that time someone threw someone else into the river?
See you at the river.
Remember that time when Chavo Guerrero got thrown into the river?
That's post Attitude.
Doesn't matter. Still happened. Remember that time Stone Cold Steve Austin gave Vince McMahon a stunner?
You remember that time where Big Boss Man ate the dog? Did he eat that dog? Was it a Chihuahua?
Remember that?
Yeah, whose dog was it?
Whose dog was he ate? He ate
Big
someone's dog.
Show's? No, that was.
That was his
Al
father.
Snow.
That he
It was Al
drugged.
Snow. It was Al Snow's dog, right?
Uh,
Yeah, he ate his dog. Remember?
But see, it's the moments.
It's the moments
It's
like
the
that.
moments
He
that
ate
people
his dog.
remember. Like Mae Young giving birth to a hand.
wait a minute. I gotta.
Who
shit.
ate whose dog?
Big
Big,
Boss
big,
Man.
big boss man.
Hold on. I gotta try this again. Hold on. I'm trying to see if.
What are you doing?
Okay, yeah. If you put Big Boss Man E, it auto-populates to Eat's dog. It's Al Snow, yeah.
Oh, poor Al Snow.
Pepper.
Pepper. That's it.
You're right.
He
There.
ate pepper.
Remember that time
Put that hash mark in the. He did remember that.
Big Boss Man ate a dog?
I thought like I hit Big Boss Man Eats Dog, and then I was like, is that the first thing that populated? And I was like, is the first thing when you put Big Boss Man in Google Eats Dog? And I was like, is that what I had to go back because I didn't know if it was my previous search or not. But yeah, you gotta put the E in to see if it's Eats Dog.
All right. Any other questions?
No, that is
All
it.
right, that'll do
Thank
it.
you, Wayne.
So thank you very much for the questions. Make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube channel, WNSvideo, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. Subscribe to our show on iTunes. Feel free to give us a review by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Also, feel free to give Daniel a poke on Facebook. You can find us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and
or a tweet.
yeah, a tweet. Beyond Pod and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
At WNS Podcast, at WNS _ Daniel, and at Tyler _ Abear on Twitter.
There you go. That's going to do it for us this week. Make sure to comment how much wrestling is too much for you, who you think is going to walk away victorious at SummerSlam. And as always, thank you very much for listening. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm Tyler A. Bear.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.
Peace.